Hi, I'm Francesca.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Laura.
And welcome to Novel Nights.
Hi everyone. Welcome to Novel Nights. Happy Thursday. Happy November. This is the first we are gathering. Yes.
Oh,
Since
is it?
yeah, I think so.
Yes,
November 1st Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, because we gathered last week for Halloween. So happy November, everyone. Welcome to Novel Nights Live. Tonight we are doing a bookish tea gossip sesh kind of video. When I really think about it, we planned this calendar way in advance, and the fact that bookish tea and gossip landed on this day, I'm like, this just feels right. You know, I don't feel like doing anything too serious. I don't feel like, even giving book recommendations too hard. Let's just talk about all the mess that is out there in the world. I mean, how are y'all feeling? I mean, it landed on a perfect day, right?
Yeah, it feels fitting, very fitting.
Yes, I'm thrilled. Okay, so we have a list of things that we want to talk about. If you have anything, any bookish tea or anything that you'd like us to talk about or share, just pop it in the comments if you're watching us live. Replay crew, we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. So let us know in the comments what you are thinking. What are your opinions on all this bookish tea? But yes, pop it in the comments and we'll talk about it and address it. Okay, so I'm pulling up my notes app, legit my notes app. And the first big thing is about a Native American author who says she's Native American. However, tribal alliances disagree about it. The author in question is author Colby Wilkins, right? And this was clearly one of the biggest news out there because she wrote a book with Native American characters in the book. She claims to be Native American. It was being marketed as an own voices book. But Native-led organizations said that they found no genealogical ties between the author and the tribe she's claiming that she has affiliation with. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this? Laura, how are you feeling about this author? I've seen some discourse online where folks are saying that, hey, other groups don't have to prove that they are A or B or C or whatever group they identify as. Then why should these authors have to identify as who they are? Otherwise, people just look at them with disdain.
I think, honestly, I understand where the other groups don't have to identify where they're coming from and all those different things. But there's also the fact that Indigenous people have been the history of Indigenous people in the US, and it's just isn't another level. But I think what hurt this author is her personal behavior. And so I think that did not help her to justify or to come through the information. I think that's been the challenge, is like what you reap, you sow. And so the behavior that was happening in the past, people coming out of the woodwork and expressing different issues, didn't help her get the support that she may need moving forward. And I know she lost her book, like the book was pulled and all those different things. And so there was repercussions. I don't think there's cancel culture. I think we moved past cancel culture. So I think it's just like, there's some repercussions financially, but they might come back bigger and better.
Yeah, as of recording, her first book is published. Yep. And I also saw online that book 2 is going to be pulled. I think it was a part of a 3-book deal. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of insert that there. But Fran, what are your thoughts on this author, but also on people online saying, hey, you know, other authors don't have to self-identify. Why does this author have to?
Yeah, I think going back to what Laura just said is specifically with Native Americans and the history, I think that someone claiming to be part of the community is a bigger deal than with other communities specifically. And also, I think that they have been deprived of their culture so much that the fact that someone could be connected to their culture, which is kind of, I think, what that tribe was trying to, or that organization was trying to get at, and they had contacted her in that regards, is because you do want to be inclusive in their community. So her reaction to that, I don't think makes sense in that sense. So I think that when it comes to certain groups that have been so marginalized and so affected, yes, it makes sense where they would have to be more forthcoming with that information.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I agree with both of you as well on all those sentiments, all those fronts. I also just want to mention the name of the organization. The organization is the Tribal Alliance Against Frauds. They have a mission statement on there, why they are organized, the work they're doing. And this author isn't the only person that they have done research on and gone and made claims against. I also want to mention author Erica T. Worth. Erica T. Worth had I think it's a horror novel. Now I'm blanking on the name, so I'm legit punching it into Google. I actually read that author's book, and then it came out at a later date. Okay, I found the book. The name of the book is White Horse. It's like horror, a mix of like science fiction, fantasy, but more horror than anything else. And this author too was claiming Native American roots. So I just want to read real quick, just to give you all the information since we're talking about it. Again, the author that came to my attention was author Colby Wilkins, and the other author I found was Erica T. Worth. Now, the organization, again, Tribal Alliances Against Frauds. On their page, they have what we do, and I'm reading direct from their website. We expose ethnic frauds pretending to be American Indian people or tribes when they are not. We are researchers, we gather facts, we are the whistleblowers. We work to cease the activities of individuals and organizations falsely representing themselves as American Indians at every opportunity. We do not, and I think this is important, we do not focus on the millions of individuals who believe they have American Indian ancestry based on unfounded family law when they do not. We focus on the individuals, groups, and CPAINs, which is corporations posing as American Indian nations, who falsely represent American Indian cultures, histories, and spiritual practices, and or falsely claim identities for profit or fame. And I think that last line is very important because there are lots of people out there, I'm sure, people watching and listening, you might have some family history where somewhere down the line they said, yes, there was some Native ancestry and so on and so on. And you have your own family history and your own family law. That is fine. They are not coming after you. It's people who use this information to gain profits and to gain fame. They have a whole bunch of people listed on their website in terms of investigations. Most recently is that author Colby Wilkins, the one I mentioned, Erica Worth, and you can just go to the website tribalallianceagainstfrauds.org, and you can see the breakdown of all the work that they've done. And the last thing I want to share on this is, why is it so important to us? Because people are like, okay, then why is this such a big deal? And they're saying American Indians living today are descendants of the tiny percentage of Indians who survived colonization. We're still fighting for our sovereignty, basic human rights, and all the challenges. But, and I skipped a whole paragraph there to jump to this point, we are facing a new form of genocide, the theft of our cultures and even our ancestors by people who are benefiting from their theft and who are taking our cultures and turning them into something unrecognizable. And they go into the reason why, and they're saying it should be respected and honored, and basically don't steal their stuff. So If you believe your family story and so on, and you work with these people and you realize, okay, hey, this is not right, work with them to make it right. They're not trying to be a get your organization. They're just trying the best to preserve their cultures. And I'm going to end by saying, we can't tell other people who belongs or who doesn't belong or how they should handle it. We should let them decide, and we should respect them accordingly. So that's what I think.
I think there's also one other point, at least on the Colby Wilkins issue, is the fact that it is a romance. And I think something that in the romance community that has been an issue for decades. I mean, when they started publishing romance novels back when it was just white women writing them, there was a lot of fetishization, however you say that, but of Americans. So you will find those kind of romance books, older romance books, maybe they're not in print anymore, but that happened in print, in publishing, in the romance community. So I totally understand why they would also be more, I guess, want to make sure that something is right so that it's not falling into that again.
Yeah. And I mean, look, they have their people who want to tell their stories, right? The last thing they need is someone adding to the canon that isn't representing them or their people. So we're not saying you can't write about what you want to write about. It's all about how you represent it and how you identify yourself to be. I think that's also very important to mention. Because literature can't be limited to just people writing about their direct experiences.
Right.
Again, just respect the peoples. That's all we're saying. Respect the peoples. But let us know in the comments if what you think and what your take is on this whole conversation. And again, if you have some bookish tea that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments as well. Replay crew, for those who will be watching us later, let us know too. All right, the next topic is an author called K.A. Tucker. Apparently there's plagiarism, and I know plagiarism is a big topic, especially over the past couple of years with the rise of AI. So the whole gossip and the whole tea is this. Now, I'm reading an excerpt from the author's public Facebook page where they shared them discovering their work was plagiarized. So the author says, yesterday, my publicist contacted me about an email from a reader who discovered a book in KU that seems very familiar to the name of the book, Until It Fades, a hockey romance I published with Atria Books in 2017. After digging more, she felt the book was nearly a direct match, save for some word changes she felt I should know. I found the book, and within 10 seconds, I knew I had to flag this to my agent so she could contact my publisher for further action. I will share some comparisons so you can see what I strongly suspect is my book run through an AI tool and then published in KU under a different title. And the author in their post provided screenshots. I did not pull them, so it is what it is. But anyway, she says, I'm sharing this so people can see another example of plagiarism in publishing in the age of AI. While there may be benefits to this technology, there is a very real dark side. When you're the person who spent months of their life toiling away on a story, you feel as violated as a homeowner whose home was burglarized. So again, you can go to author K.A. Tucker's page and you will find this. But essentially, somebody took her book, ran it through AI, and published it. I mean, Laura, what do you think about this one? Another case of plagiarism, but clearly this one was really lifted and just run through AI too.
Yeah, this is like a very basic, just we run through AI, change a couple of words, get a cover, get a stuff. I would say there's a rise, Kindle Limited, KDP, Amazon, there's a rise of a lot of low content or no content books that are just basically AI made fabricated content, and there's a benefit because you do make money from KU, and it can create that, but there's a lot of get rich quick schemes. And so I see that a lot on YouTube when I'm like looking for content. There was like, hey, how do you start? I made like $1 million in KU and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so people are like looking for the quick, like shortcut to, as opposed to like, let's just write a story. Let's have sensitivity readers, have beta readers, let's have ARC readers, let's build a brand. This was like automatically in AI. There's no social media presence. There's probably it doesn't exist. It's probably content farm somewhere else that just created this book for a quick gain.
Yeah, it sounds like they don't want to do the work because everything you're listing is too much work, my friend. Francesca, what do you think?
Yeah, and actually, I think that Tucker also mentioned that she did a search for author's image, the author photo, and she found other pen names with other books, which are most likely also plagiarized as well. So yeah, I think that it's weird because I feel like if you're going to use AI, you might as well have AI write a book because AI can do that anyway. Like, why would you even go and plagiarize? Like, you can just put out shitty whatever content, just having AI write the thing. Why are you going and plagiarizing another author?
I guess they're just not fans of the content AI is pushing out for them. They want something else.
They just saw hockey. It sells so much on Book Talk. We're just going to look for the lowest common denominator of the highest, like, the one that's going to give you the most money. So maybe AI doesn't know anything about hockey and just basically like, we're just going to look for something that's going to give me the best money maker.
Yeah, it's exactly. They're opening themselves up to a horrible lawsuit for absolutely no reason. So yeah, I could totally understand why the author would feel like that, because it's even, I think, worse than when you actually find an author, like there's a presence, there's a person, and so like you feel like there's someone there that's doing that to you. But this way, I think it's almost worse.
Yeah, I mean, and also the thing that the author also mentioned in their Facebook post is that it's a reader who caught it. And that's the one thing with readers.
Always the readers.
Once you read a book and you get invested and then you read something else and you're like, wait a minute. I mean, readers are going to pick this up. So part of me is like, why waste time on this? Just, come up with your own stuff. There are enough ideas out there, right?
Absolutely. And on a side note, I will say that I read that book. I had an arc of that when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly encourage people to go and read Until It Pays.
And you should be able to borrow from the library. So if you don't want to pay for it, just borrow from the library. Don't.
Well, speaking of the library, that's the next topic. Okay. Topic number 3 on my list is an author said to buy books instead of using the library because only book sales matter for author contracts. I mean, make it make sense.
Pay a lot of money for those ebooks, it's a per license. Every time you read an ebook from your library, it is actually, they pay per use. So it is not like it's just free. They got it for $2.99 on Amazon and then they just send it over to everyone. They have to pay every single time you see it. So obviously they're making money from the library. It may not be the same sales as New York Times bestseller, but it's still just as important,
Yeah, and actually, I think that is such a horribly privileged take, because I get that you want to have your career, but at the same time, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can go out and buy books, period, So like, I don't know. I don't even know what author said that.
In this economy, can we buy books?
Like, really?
In this economy where the eggs are too expensive? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. It was just wild. I don't know who this author is, but that was just wild. But also, I forgot. Let me do it at the top. I want to shout out, okay? Let me get the Threads account. Jana and Books, who is also writing over on Substack as Laura. What's the name?
Lady Whistle Threads.
Lady Whistle Threads. So on Threads, her account is Jana and Books, and she is Lady Whistle Threads on Substack. This is my source for tea. Again, she is out here doing the Lord's work. God bless. You can have tea delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up for Lady Whistle Threads on Substack. or just follow Jana and Books on TikTok. Yes.
And she sends them every week. Every Monday, there's like a new thread of gossip, and there's recycled gossip, and she'll tell you this is recycled shit, and then they'll tell you like this is a new thing, this is the latest one. She also gets sourced by I've been following her, so she gets sourced not just from her, but some people send her gossip for it. As a gossip connoisseur who subscribes to many gossip sites, I appreciate the level of work, not just for Jana, but for the people who share the blind items and the tea. Like this is just as important. Your job of sharing that blind item to that person is just as important as that person disseminating that tea. We appreciate all.
Yes. So if you see tea, send it to Lady Whistle Threads over on Substack and Jana and Books on Threads, because again, she's doing the Lord's work, compiling the tea for all us gossip-loving folks. All right. The next topic, right, is the Queen of Book Talk. Now, I'm going to say Queen of Book Talk in quotations. This is very important. It is part of the thing. So the Queen of Book Talk. So there's someone who... Candy. This is someone, the self-proclaimed Queen of Book Talk, went on the Kelly Clarkson show to spread the good word of, and again in quotations, the brand new genre of romantasy. Yes, you can tell I'm being facetious in the way I'm reading it, because it was also written facetiously. All right, let me start again and just read it. The Queen of Book Talk went on the Kelly Clarkson show to spread the good word of the brand new book genre romantasy. Now, people are questioning, one, when did she become the Queen of Book Talk? Like, we need to figure out when this starts.
Never.
Right?
I'm not her peasant. I'm not anyone. I do not bow to her. I do not curtsy to her. She's not my person. I think I even blocked her. So, yeah, no.
I mean, look, I remember this girl, and this is just facts, all tea, no shade. But I knew her as the girl who was kind of sexualizing and over-sexualizing a real-life hockey player, mind you. It's hockey, right?
Kind of, like she was sexually harassing.
And down harassing them, but it's okay. All the way out. I mean, look, I'm all for teen book boyfriends, but when you start harassing a real-life person, okay, like, let's keep it in the fictional realm. But anyway, so this girl is a self-proclaimed queen. I'm going to say self-proclaimed Queen of Book Talk. She's known as a hockey romance girl. She's known as, for me, the girl who was harassing this real life man. And I remember the wife was involved on social media as well. It was a hot mess. My thing is this one. Who can appoint someone the Queen of Book Talk? I mean, I feel it should be book people. I don't think people in outside media, general media, whether it's Kelly Clarkson, Call Her Daddy podcast host, none of these people. If the book people aren't anointing you, it ain't it. But also, this is someone with a messy, in my opinion, messy background. Like, Fran, what are you thinking?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to Queen of Book Talk, honestly, yes, number one, if there was one, it needs to be by book people. However, I don't think there will ever be queen of, because all of these online spaces about books there is no one space. There's a lot of space. So you will never find someone that will encompass all of that, where you can say that is the queen, because everybody's got their own little niche and their own little group, whether it's genres or, whatever. So yeah, definitely self-proclaimed. Or it could have been one of these media places where she went and they were like, oh, she's got a lot of followers, but there's a lot of people with a lot of followers. So, and just because somebody has a lot of followers doesn't mean that book people care about it as well.
Honestly, maybe she's just a Regina George, of Book Talk, and maybe that's how she got the Queen Bee. It was actually Regina George, which is fine, whatever. But the laundry list of my grievances with her include fan fiction use, include use of someone that we don't want to talk about anymore, platforming the author. It includes sexual harassment. It includes a sense of of been driven by like what's views, what's going to be the most controversial thing, and just doing it and highlighting bad behavior. So yeah, like, you know, it is what it is. But obviously her take on this brand new genre, we got to talk about this. I did not know it existed.
Yes, the brand new genre of romantasy. And then her recommendation to Kelly Clarkson was a little less known gem, Rebecca Yarros.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her recommendation.
So think about it. I'm like, we did not know this book existed.
Right.
Like, first of all, Goodreads already, which you know, Goodreads is like in the dinosaur age, created the romantasy option a year ago, so other authors in fantasy space can actually win an award, not Sarah J. Maas or Rebecca Yarros. Right. So like, it wasn't like it's a numbers game. It's a place. It's been new. It's not new, and her recommendations are not hidden gem. They're not authors of color. They're not queer authors. They're just basically
whatever's super popular.
It's widespread.
Also, I have to say, because this is always my with the word romantasy, it was already a genre.
Yes,
it existed before Sarah J. Maas. Like, fantasy romance was already a thing.
Yes, but this is widespread recommendations.
I can't. First off, I did not watch her segment, but to recommend Rebecca Yarros, I mean, God bless, but no, she's already super. That cannot be a lesser known gem, right? And look, I've been reading fantasy forever. There was always romance in fantasy. So just because you slap a new name on something, or, you know, maybe now authors are upping the ante and the spice and all the things, but I'm like, this existed before, but I guess it's a new marketing term. Because there are lots of things that are marketing terms, so I guess that's it. But I will say, she is her own self-appointed whatever it is. I would say she's the queen of hockey romance, because I'm gonna keep it real. She's the person, or sports romance. I can't even talk. Sports romance. I think she was very popular with that. That's its own segment.
However, I will still say that I wouldn't call her that, because she brought such a horrible take to the subgenre that like you don't want anything to do with it. Like, she was literally sexually harassing these men.
Okay, can we
these are not hidden gems. They're not queer. They're not other colors. They're just like the regular, like the same authors that we see over and over. So again, it's not anything new. You're not actually giving me something that I'm actually.
I'm not giving her the title queen of anything.
No, okay, what title are we gonna give her? Because clearly she wants a title.
She's the court jester.
The court jester. I am dead. Oh my gosh, if y'all are just joining us, we are talking about the self-proclaimed queen of book talk. All right. Let us know in the comments, what title should we give her? You know, I'm very curious. But again, I think the book people need to speak, you know, and there are many. I agree with you, Fran. There's so many different pockets. It's hard for you to be queen of everything. You know, it's not
going to never happen. There will never be a queen of book talk or book tub or whatever.
That is fair. So I'm going to jump ahead to a different bookish topic I had in my notes, because I think what made this girl, self-proclaimed queen of book talk, blow up is also something that, again, thank you, Lady Whistle Threads, you know, for coming through with the tea, highlighted in her bookish tea thing, which is an author called another author out for pretending to be bullied so people would buy their books. Apparently, some people have found that if they post after all the negativity, I'm considering quitting writing, I'm disappearing, you know, all the things, it will boost their sales. So they are posting it even if they haven't received any negativity to profit off of readers' emotions and empathy. So it's kind of going back to Queen of Book Talk Girl. It's like people do a lot of like these reaction videos. So like regular readers or regular people or regular consumers of content, they post controversial things. They make controversial takes because it's going to do the rounds. People are going to share. It's going to go viral. Now it seems authors are kind of doing that because they've seen the repercussions of when people have experienced real negativity online, that it boosts their sales. So my question is, number one, do y'all think authors are legit out here doing this just for book sales? But also, two, how do you feel about it if you found out an author did that? Like, cringe.
It's hard because I feel like I wouldn't think somebody would do that, but I have also over the years seen authors fake so much stuff. Like I have seen an author fake that he was going through cancer and all of these things, and then it came out that he wasn't. It also came out he wasn't gay. So like all of like, it's messy out here in these streets. So would it surprise me? No. Do I think that there's a lot of authors doing that? Also, no. But I would definitely be like, I will never support you again if I found out that somebody's doing that, because it's playing with people's emotions, because we want to help people, and we want to hope that people are giving us the truth and they're just opening up and being vulnerable. But at the same time, there's so many grifters out there. Like there's grifters not just in authors. I've seen bloggers being grifters about car accidents and stuff. So I've seen my fair share of people being crappy over the years. So yeah, it's bad.
What do you think, Laura?
In my day job, I look at fraud. So I am a cynic, and I pretty much the burden of proof is it has to be really high. And I always look at the worst case scenario, and I'm like always thinking like, is this real? Is this like what you're trying to do? And I have to think about it like the bottom line, like they want to get more money. And so I made a decision that I'm not playing around. I'm not here to pay your bills. I'm not here to do reviews for free labor for you or anything like that. I get to do this on my own choosing, and I get to choose how I invest my money and what I want to do and what I want to put together. And so the play with emotions of like, people are bullying me or people are doing this. Like we saw an author a year ago fake her own death.
Oh, yes.
So like the levels they have gone, so they can actually get
all
soul. Like I don't trust people. I don't. So
yeah. And honestly, I am already not the type of person that sees these stories and believes it to the point where I'm going to do something to support them. Because of that, like because I have already become so desensitized to that it has to be something so crazy that it really, I don't know. I could just be in my period days and it's really
emotional.
I mean, the second Laura said the author who faked her death, I was like, damn it, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, like so I don't trust you. Yeah. Like I need to build a relationship. And even that, if you decide not to write anymore, it'll be sad and like there's no more crap, but that's a choice. That's your choice. Yeah. It's just like when authors get like canceled and then you just go on a social media break and expect this people like come back. It's like, no, it's just like Whitney left the group chat and nobody asked her to come back to the group chat. Like same behavior. Don't care. You made a choice. Just go by. You do what you need to do.
If you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, you get that inside.
Yes. Whitney left the group chat. Nobody told her, oh my gosh, she left the group chat.
No. Okay. So me, I am a blank gendered person and I am near this thing. Oh wait, y'all can't see that one. And I'm near here. Okay. There was an author who wrote a book about blank me near here. Okay. Listen, I ain't calling the author name. Y'all figure it out. I am a W and you fill in the lines and I am near this thing. Okay, cool. Listen, I was working on that author's second book. I kid you not. I had no idea that this author lied about having cancer. I nearly lost my, I couldn't believe the author lied. I had no idea. I was like, what rock was I living under? Anyways, I went through, I did what I had to do, and I was like just so disappointed that, this author did that. Now, I know people are saying, there's mental health and then there's some other things which kind of makes things sticky sometimes. But I'm the person who, look, I have my friends, okay? And these two here are my friends. We chat every day, and I'm gonna tell you, and I have other friends and I have family and I have people who love me. So I am fine. I'm not out here trying to form parasocial relationships with these authors because I truly feel that's when you get in trouble. So anytime I see something, I'm just like, oh, it's like me watching Housewives. Okay, I'm a Housewives connoisseur. And right now I'm just praying that Bronwyn doesn't do anything stupid because I'm like, I like you right now, girl. But if you go do some crazy stuff, I'm just like, all right, there we go. Another one bites the dust. Because I don't have attachments. I am team me at all times. You will never see me in these streets fighting for any authors, okay? Never. Or housewives, by extension. Again, housewife connoisseur here. I am team me, which means I can flip-flop whenever I want. I can say, I like you today, I don't like you. Or I'm supporting this author and then another one tomorrow. And I can ghost just as easy because, again, I am team me. I am not standing any of these people out there. Because that's the other scary part is when I see people go off in the comments defending these people. And going back to the first story that we shared about that author, Colby Wilkins, like people were going off in defense of this author. And I'm like, oh my God. It's because y'all, one, either read the book and loved the book, or two, y'all formed a parasocial relationship with this author. So it's like, it hit personal for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, look, man, I am team me. I'm team me because you can love a book, but realize the author is hella problematic. And all you have to be is like, damn, another one bites the dust. That's how I feel. I done read, what's her name book? Janine's book.
Janine Cummings.
I loved it. Listen, I was like, oh, this book is good. I loved it. And then I was like, oh, because I had an early copy. So I was like talking about this book way in advance. And then I was like, oh, all right, another one bites the dust. You see how simple that is? That's what happens when you're team you. You don't care about these things. But yeah, these authors, man, these authors.
I do have a recommendation if you like this kind of topic and stuff like that. You should watch a docuseries or documentary, Anatomy of a Lie in Peacock, which is about the writer's room in Grey's Anatomy, the girl who faked her cancer, like shootings, like any major event. She faked her own storyline and she got her storyline done in Shonda Rhimes. So it's just a wonderful, get an experience of someone who did it in Hollywood.
Oh, wow.
I mean, listen.
I mean, it was also like that actor that faked his own thing or something and then now like had to go to jail. Did he get convicted? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jesse Smollett.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, that's why I say people be team you. Don't be swearing for none of these people out here. Okay? That's the Capricorn in me. Be team you. You don't know these people, not really. Okay? Be team you.
Yeah.
Be team you because you can't trust people. Speaking of which, can't trust people. I did not plan this. I just looked down at my phone. I was like, ooh, okay, the next one. Again, thank you, Lady Whistle Threads. All right. Lady Whistle Threads doing the Lord's work. Jana and Books. Is that it? Yep. Jana and Books on Threads. Yes. Double check the username. Okay. So the next topic is I don't trust anyone who rates everything 4 and 5 stars on Goodreads. Okay. Yeah. This is what I say. Be team you. Don't trust any of these people. Okay.
Listen, I have something to say about that.
Yes.
When rating books on Goodreads, I had gotten back into reading maybe 5 years. So it was early in my getting back into reading time. And I wasn't really reading a lot of romance before. So I was just discovering certain genres and certain subgenres. And the excitement that did that I was rating a lot of things 4 and 5 stars. So I can understand where some people can come from when they rate everything 4 and 5 stars, because I did that for like 2 years. So I don't distrust them as much. I know now that if I were to read those books, I wouldn't rate them like that. But that also comes from reading for many years and reading a lot of books. So I am not here to judge people on that, because they could be very early on. Like they could have just discovered reading within like the past year or two, and everything is fresh and new and exciting. So yes, you like everything because you haven't experienced that before. So that's my take on it. I'm not going to judge them. Will I take recommendations from somebody that's doing that? Absolutely not.
Okay, well, here's the thing now.
That has nothing to do with me, but that's probably where I think they're coming from.
Okay, I'm coming in defense part 2 real quick. It's simple. I read a lot of books, right? I start some books, I don't finish some books, but even the ones I finish, I read a lot. I have zero energy to talk about the books I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't go on Goodreads, which by the way, I don't use Goodreads. So this really isn't applicable to me. I don't even use any other platform. I don't use Storygraph. I don't like chronicling my stuff digitally. I liked Instagram. That was a great like diary. But anyways, back to the point. I feel some duty if I go online and I use a platform like Goodreads and I put 1 star to say why I'm leaving 1 star. And I legit have zero energy to talk about something I don't like, because that takes me back to school, having to read things you don't like and write a report about it. And I'm not about that life. I am team read for pleasure. I am team, if you don't have the energy for it, you don't owe anybody anything. It goes back to, again, these authors guilt tripping readers and reviewers and stuff like that. I owe you nothing. I am team me. And team me says we don't have energy to write negative reviews. Now, if you ask me about it, if we're having a conversation, if we're doing a live, if we meet in person, you're like, did you read that? I'm like, yeah. And well, you know, don't bother, leave that one. But I'm also not going to go publicly and do that. You know, that's just my take. Laura, what do you think?
So I had a couple things. I use Goodreads for Gnosis. I check Goodreads every day, and there's a top reviewer, because Goodreads rewards top reviewers, people who post reviews and stuff like that. And there's a top reviewer who always to do 4s and 5s. Everything's 4 and 5. Everything's fabulous. Everything's great. And I was like, I don't trust it. Like and that's where I don't trust the top reviewers. Who are just like, everything is like 4 or 5 stars. I think in some ways, I personally don't rate books anymore, and because I got in trouble because people got hurt feelings, and I really didn't care, because in my take on when I start reading again, I just rate everything 3 stars. Everything's like the middle of the ground. Everything's fine. Doesn't matter. I like it. I did not enjoy it. Like I enjoyed it. It's not the end of the world. And so I personally think like it's when we start policing people's behavior and policing people's thoughts and policing like people think like this is how you should rate it, that's when we get in trouble. I do obviously the reviewer who gets rewarded for engagement for posting the latest book and saying 4 or 5 stars is trying. There's a very different place from that than a person like a regular person is just like posting reviews and everything's 4 or 5 stars because they haven't engaged with the behavior. Like it's very different. So it's very nuanced, like the conversation.
It just goes back to each his own. You don't have to do things the way other people are doing it, and you don't
let people be and mind your business.
Mind your business. It doesn't really matter. It's a fake gold star. It's fake.
That's what I'm saying. Again, be team you. I'm telling you, y'all will be so much happier in your lives if you take my approach. Be team you. Okay, you have your people.
Also, I do want to mention that you said about the 1-star reviews. I actually enjoy writing those.
And you know what?
But only because when I give 1 star to a book, because it really pissed me. Like there's an emotional reaction why something got 1 star, and I'm like, I get a vent.
It's just like the Christian purity culture who write a 1-star review for too much sex or saying fuck.
Oh Lord.
I'm like, oh, I'm buying that book. Tell me more. You're telling me more. You're finding my people. My people have been found.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh. I think here's the thing. Like, if you're just a casual person just reading books for fun, again, be team you.
Yeah.
You have real people in your life who love you. That's all that matters. Ignore the people on the internet. However, if you are a reviewer, like I've said it a million times, I only have energy for the books I like. If we're having a conversation about a book, then we can talk about it. But I think if you're a reviewer and you're upfront about that, and you're like, look, I read a whole bunch of books, but these are the ones I like. I have zero energy to talk about the things I don't like. That is clear. But if you just perpetually like everything, I understand it can be a gray area when you are a reviewer. Now, if you're a hobbyist, then God bless.
Yeah.
Live your life. Live your life.
I think when it comes to a reviewer, at least from like that's looking to a reviewer for what to read, it can also feel difficult to gauge where you fall in what you like, because like usually when people are aligning themselves with a reviewer, it's because their likes and dislikes are similar.
Yes, are aligned.
And the biggest thing that, because when we were regularly posting reviews on our blog, we always posted everything, including all the videos. And the reason for that, which I always got so back on, is the fact that when a person sees what you don't like, then they know when you're posting something that you like, and it's like your likes and dislikes are aligned, they know they're going to like it. So there's a way to connect with a reader, with a reviewer, by posting both. And you're never going to get that fully if you're only posting positive.
True. That is true.
So, but everybody does with whatever they're comfortable with. So yeah, when it comes to reviewers, I think there's probably different ways to approach it. But if you're just a regular person and you just love everything because you're like a happy-go-lucky, everything, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And everybody else should.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that 100%. All right, y'all. Last topic I have on our list is the spicy topic. Spicy topic. And I'm really curious what you two think, because y'all are OG romance readers, where I'm more of like the newbie contemporary romance person. I was one of them people who look down on romance, like, you read that. So yes, I'm reformed. All right. So again, thank you, Lady Whistle Threads, Jana, and Books on Threads. So she's Lady Whistle Threads, but if you go on the Threads app, it's Jana and Books. All right. So the last T is reading smut is cheating, as in cheating on your partner, right? I'm wondering if the people who say like reading smut is cheating, do they feel it's the same thing like pornography? Does that make sense? Like, because some people say that as well. So my question to you, is reading smutty, super spicy romance and all these things cheating? Or do you all believe it is determined by people in their own relationships? They determine the boundaries of what is cheating and what is not, but also just a general reading smut point of view. What do you think, Fran?
So the first thing that comes to mind is that, in my opinion, is not cheating. But I think there's merit for what you're saying, that every relationship is different. And that is something that, within partners, that could be addressed. If somebody is very insecure, I guess I could see how that could be a problem. But that's talking about a separate issue that's going on in that relationship. But, I can see where that could come in if that is the relationship that you're in. Otherwise, I feel like, and in a way, unless something becomes like an actual, like an addiction or a problem, like even speaking on porn, if it's not that, I don't think it's cheating or damaging to a relationship.
Yeah.
Either way. Yeah. So That's the way I see it. And I also I really hate the comparison that people make between reading a smutty book and porn.
Yeah, I think it's a common comparison.
But it is a common comparison. And I can see that because like you, I also used to look down on romance. And I used to read urban fantasy or thrillers. And then I really didn't want to, but I was things to read and I got into paranormal romance and it was like, okay, I can deal with this, but I would never a contemporary or his until I did. So I went through overcome conceived ideas with reading romance in stages. But I also can see where people can come with that. I think also online culture and the way it's portrayed online, it feeds into that dynamic and into that thought. So I think it also makes sense where those thoughts are coming from, that people may feel that that is cheating. I think it's because of how people are interacting with the content online. The fact that you're reading smutty books translate to say book talk culture, where they're thirsting over guys on accounts where half naked guys. So yeah, if you're doing that, I could see where that could be a problem for some partners. So there's more to it than just the fact that they're reading the books, though, in that case.
Yeah.
And I mean, some of these people's behavior too, when they're going to a book convention, and some of the things that they think it's appropriate doing to cover models, or even the queen of book talk herself that we were just talking about, and what she was doing to the hockey players. So yeah, when it broadens the subject to those topics, I feel like that's where you can get in trouble relationship. But the book itself, no.
What do you think, Laura?
Purity culture. It is totally it repressed sexual, oh my gosh, I found something. It's like reading Forever. Was it Forever? A Judy Blume book at 12 and be like, oh my gosh, I'm gross. What is happening? And then realize it's not a big deal. It's just this regular thing. And it is fine. As a single person who chooses to be single, who chooses not to be married, I don't find it cheating, but then again, I'm single, so it doesn't really matter. I get to choose how I spend my time, and I get to choose what I do and what bookstore I want to read. And so it's the same thing. It's it's the thirst traps, it's the book boyfriend, it's the stuff, it's the insecure man who's like, oh my gosh, she's gonna leave me for her book boyfriend. It's no, it's a hobby. And yes, some people take that hobby and they read 600, 200 books and that's all they do. And that's how they choose or spend their time. Is it an addiction? I don't know. I've had an addictive personality, and I understand sometimes that's how you cope with life and that's how you dissociate, but it's not hurting others. And this may not hurt yourself. Maybe hurt yourself from not having social interactions and having maybe you're not taking care of yourself, but it's not the same. It's just, I don't know. It's just purity culture.
Yeah. Even the point of reading so many books is what I was saying about the addiction. At that point, if you're reading so much, it can affect your relationship in the fact that you're not spending time together. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the smut
with the topic, because it could be true crime. It's just like women in true crime. They love their podcast, they love their thrillers. It's the same idea. It's either the husband murdered or the husband had sex with. It's whatever it is. We have a really interesting interaction. So you can change the topic. And if you're talking about thrillers and oh my gosh, I'm reading 100, 200, 800 thrillers. Yeah. It's the same thing. You're just using books to escape.
Yeah.
I think my take on it is I don't see the comparison. So point number one, I know it's a common comparison with reading smut and pornography. I don't see the correlation. You all let us know in the comments if you see the correlation and why. But then the other thing is, my feeling is reading books, watching TV, playing video games, doing other activities. I think any activity of any sort, hobby, escapism, however you look at it, whenever it starts to affect your daily life, meaning you showing up to work, you showing up in your relationship, you taking care of yourself, you showing up for your children, stuff like that, when it affects your daily life, in this case, we're talking about relationships because they're talking about cheating. So I think when whatever it is you're doing starts to affect your relationship, then I think that's when we have a problem. That's when we need to have a conversation between partners. But just on the surface, do I think it's cheating, reading? No, I don't.
Yeah.
That's me, but that's me. But again, I also do believe each person in their relationship determines the boundaries of their relationships. You know what your partner can tolerate and not tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because So yeah, but people need to stop making the comparison between smut in books and spicy books. I'm noticing a trend where people are constantly searching and asking, is this book spicy? Is that book spicy? Oh, on that note, let me ask y'all, do you think books, because I don't like a sticker on a book. I don't like a Oprah, Reese, Good Morning America, any book club. I am not prejudiced. I just don't like stickers on books. So like, don't deface the cover. But do you all think, in a similar token, there should be stickers? Because I hear people advocating for this, putting on like the rating for the book on the cover. I know book people, we don't like stickers on our books. So,
I mean, my answer is no, only because a spice level is subjective. You will never get like something spicy for you, and it's not even on my radar. You know what I mean? So it will never work. I think the only thing that they could do, and they could put that small on the spine, is where there is no sex.
Right. Okay.
That makes sense, because that's a fact. That's clear cut. There is no sex in this book. It's closed. Either it's closed door, or like we don't even reference it. Like, that makes sense.
So here's my thing.
But not a spice rating, because that will never work.
So some people are saying, like, you know how you have movie ratings, right? PG blank, PG this, MR whatever.
Yeah, screwed up. It's like it's a board of random people like watching things and like surprise. Like it's not like, it's subjective. Like when you think it's like PG-13, it's like, oh, it's like a G-rated movie. Like it really comes down to it.
Yeah.
NC-17 is for like too sexual, when the reality is like you can watch a foreign film and you can see the same thing and it was just fine. Like in the world. So I don't know. I don't need policing on my books and tell me like what am I supposed to read, what I'm not supposed to read. It gets too murky. It gets too close to home with BAM books. Like, no, I don't need the policing anymore.
Yeah. Now I understand where there's people that are looking for information on when something doesn't have the sex scenes, because they don't want to read it or for whatever reason. So that I understand. But there's already a way for people to know that, because they are categorized as sweet books. So if you see that word, you pretty much can guarantee that there's going to be no sex in that book. So that's already there for you. And then anything else, I mean, just ask around, like find some people that read the book and like ask them, was it really, you know?
Look at reviews. Go to the reviewers. People are very passionate about their spice, and they'll tell you when it happens. They'll tell you when they start kissing. They'll tell you when things got a little murky, and they'll tell you if it's NC-17. If there's play in other things that you never imagined and you did not think it existed, they'll tell you.
Was there some sword crossing?
Yes, sword crossings. You did not know what exists? Okay, Google it.
Yeah, that is true. I've also noticed an increase in a trigger warning list in the book. So like within the first, after the title page, maybe even before the what do you call it, dedication page and stuff like that. I'm starting to see that as well. So there are lots of resources out there, people.
That I don't mind. Like the trigger warnings, I think are necessary. And the people that don't like trigger warnings just don't read the page.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't, nobody's forcing you to read it. But it's there for whoever needs that. And I think that part is important. But that's also it's not subjective. That is fact about something that is in the content. But
like content warnings. Yeah.
But spice, it's too subjective to do anything with it.
True. True. True.
I also hate that it's called spice. Just putting
Oh.
that out there. We are not cooking here.
I never thought about it that way. I'm just like, oh, that's what the people are saying. You know, I'm a newbie to the genre.
Back in the day, we just used to call that steam. How steamy something is. And all of a sudden, BookTok came around and it became peppers and spice. And
No,
I'm like,
true.
we are not making tacos.
No, you are right. You're right. It was steamy. Yeah, you're right. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Like, I know I have to use the word spicy or spice because people understand that, but I'm like, God damn it, I hate it.
I am dead. Oh my gosh, y'all, we have talked about a wide range of things. Okay, it was a fun gossip sesh, I swear. I think we needed this, just talking to things, and just having a good time. Thanks for y'all who are watching us live. Replay crew, let us know in the comments what you've been thinking about all the topics we covered. Let's put up our upcoming show list. So we did horror last week. So if you're still in a spooky season vibe, go check that out. Today we just did the gossip bookish tea segment. So next up is going to be our holiday gift guide. So girls, I guess we know what we need to work on during co-working. Holiday gift guide is coming your way. So again, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you're the first to know what's new and when we go live. But needless to say, we'll be talking about all things holidays and what you can be gifting the people in your life. Am I missing anything? Or I think we're sorted. All right, cool. Well, everyone take care. Okay, go read something comforting. If you want spice, read all the spice, all the steam, whatever it is you need. And we don't proclaim queens or kings here in the book community. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't do those things. But anyways, everyone take care and we'll see you all next week. Again, we gather every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. New York time, depending where you're watching. All right, everyone, take care. Bye.
Bye.